Hello, Sharon Loduca from House Matters. Today I want to talk to you about paint colors. We know choosing a paint is important, but it's not just the color of the paint, it's the shade, it's the hues, it's the tints. There are some paints that I want to talk about today. There's so much in paint, we can go on for many conversations about it. Today, I'm just going to very quickly highlight 5 paints that we need to be careful with so that we don't make our walls look a little bit grungy or that prevent a room from looking as fresh as it should. So picking the right paint with the right undertone is your best strategy for giving a room a very quick freshening up and a whole new look. In addition to that, we're talking about lighting and we're talking about primer so that the previous colors don't come through as well. So there's a few things to consider, but in the 5 colors, what we're looking at, number 1, warm white. Especially if there is insufficient lighting in that room, warm white has a tendency to look kind of grungy. So you kind of want to go with the decorator whites or really a cool white and you're fine. A warm white still works fine if you have really sufficient lighting. Second is yellow. Again, the right shade of yellow really matters. You don't want it so bright that it looks like it's punching your face when you wake up in the morning. You don't want it looking too dingy. I guess there's the best way to put it is like a soul brightening yellow. In the cans, it comes out like a creamy white. And these are, it's a nice shade of yellow. It's cool, and it's just kind of the middle of the line, and with nice lighting again in the room, it looks amazing. The third color that we have to be careful of is builder's beige. And if you've walked through a new home, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's fine for builders in selling homes, but you will notice that it is a color, it is a paint that has a tendency to look grungy really fast. If you want to use a beige on your walls, we stay away from the builder's beige, which mostly has a tinge of a yellowy tinge, a greenish overtone to it, or like a khaki color. They're nice neutrals, but there are nice neutrals out there without those greenish, yellowy khaki overtones. Again, with a good lighting, will look really good. The fourth color that we have to watch a little bit is green. Green, you're going to avoid the yellowy overtones and the brownish overtones. If you go with a deep, bold green, or today a very a bluish green. A lot of people are using like a bluish green for a very modern twist in their homes, and it goes very well. It's very attractive. It makes the room pop. And even if you're using like a low lighting, so you know it's not something you need a high lighting for to give it its brightness. It carries its own brightness. The fifth color that we need to be careful with is pink. If we go too light, it makes it look like we've got, you know, it's really sweet, like cotton candy. If we go too muddy, it can feel kind of dirty. So we want that neutral pink, and that again, that neutral pink gives it a pop. And even if you don't have to have a bright lighting to make it work. And I think that's what we're going after, is that these 5 colors, if on their own, left on their own, they can make a room look duller than you had hoped it would look. So before you put in that work, before you do it, test a patch on a wall, test it with the lighting you're going to be using, make sure you get a good primer to cover the current paint, and look what else you're going to be pairing the paint with, what types of furniture, what types of rugs, how much natural lighting is in the room, and you're off to a good start. So we know paint is always a good thing. It's just that if we're going to paint, let's go with the paints that are brighter, that are more effective, that are more modern, that are more smarter. They go the extra mileage for you. So you don't feel like you're scrubbing a wall because it looks like it's got dirty spots, or that, you know, looks grungy, or you can see the fingerprints easily, or things like that. Okay, so that's it for me today. That's the 5 colors you're going to kind of pay attention to: overtones, the lighting, what you're pairing it with in the room. Until we talk again, Sharon Loduca from House Matters.